Boom, boom, ba-dum. All right. Hello. Welcome. It is Friday, 1 p.m. Central Time here. Where I am, Central Time, and you are watching You, Me, and the New York P. It's a weekly thing I'm going to do here, but I won't waste too much of your time. We're going to get right to it here. We got some little production value. That's right. Everybody jumping in already. So the point of this game, and we'll get to it in a minute here after we play the intro, but it's really just going to be going through 10 random stories from the New York Post of the week, and then we will rank them based on the headline and read them, and or not necessarily read them verbatim, but go through each story and then rank them collectively afterwards. So feel free to throw in your rankings here at any point in time. But now it is time for this.
Welcome to another edition of You, Me, and the New York P.
Oh.
Coming up this week, buttocks. My wife's psychic lied to me about having an affair. The U.S. state with the most OnlyFans creators. What's up with Friday? What are you doing with your ketchup? The bizarre Australian supermarket dating trend. All that and more on You, Me, and the New York P.
Thank you very much, announcer man. Thank you. All right, well, that's right. This is You, Me, and the New York P, and I know what you're here for. You didn't come for me, you came for the P. So we're going to get right into it here. And like I said, we're going to go through 10 random stories. I'll tell you, most of these aren't the kind of stories you'll find covered elsewhere. So there's plenty of stories the New York Post will cover you can find on other news sources, like, just general news, whether it's Kevin Costner stuff or random health or tech news, announcements and stuff like that. But the point of these is to go through ones that are very quintessentially just the New York Post here. And so a lot of these, I'll tell you, are from just the last couple days. Doesn't even take a full week to grab them. And there's usually a lifestyle section, maybe like a sex and relationships kind of section, something like that. So we'll typically go through there, grab a few of them. But let's get right down to it. All right, so the first headline here, our A story that we're going to get into, buttocks is New York City's boldest new beauty treatment for, quote, curious and adventurous Gen Zers. All right. And so, if you joined us last week, you'll know that I really do have a fascination and affinity for, or fascination with, an affinity for the New York Post writing style. Because not only is it rife with spelling errors and grammatical errors, but oftentimes it has incredible puns in it. So this one, as I've clicked into, and mind you, I've done very little research on any of these. Some of these stories I have not read in any way, shape, or form. So we do need to rate this based on the headline. I apologize. We've read the headline. I'm going to give that score already. Buttocks is pretty strong. I'm going to give this a 64. You know what? 72. I'm going to start at a 72 based on that headline. It's pretty strong. It's very New Yorky. It uses a pun in the headline, buttocks, and it's a bold new beauty treatment. All right, so let's get right down to it, see what this thing's all about. All right, the first line. He's taking Botox to a whole new level. And whole is italicized and spelled differently. So it's not spelled with that W there. No, it's real cute with just the H. That way it's very it's very punny, and that's what's real nice about it. They're like, hey, we got to do a pun here because this guy's all into messing with people's butts, even though I don't think this has anything to do with the whole per se. Anyway, but maybe I'm wrong. Again, I've not read many of these here. An aesthetic nurse practitioner says administering anal Botox is a booming business in the Big Apple. Incredible. As the stigma surrounding sex enhancement treatment starts to subside. All right, so New York is in a whole different whole different stadium almost than we are. Ballpark, stadium, ball game, universe. Maybe this is going on in Dallas. I know we're a top 5 market. I've heard that. But this article is written by, or speaking with a gentleman who's 32. He performs the procedure often, and he says he's trademarked it as whole tox. That's right, whole tox. So he works at a place, I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't care that much, but apparently it's appealing to Gen Z and millennials who are a lot more curious and adventurous. Okay. So I guess the old cats, they're not super into. I mean, maybe it's just. I guess I need to understand what Botox in the butt does. Does it just get rid of like the wrinkly, dimply sections? Or does it. I mean, what does it do? Is it like a butt lift? Because I've seen some of those, like the butt injections, or is a butt lift different than a butt injection? This seems like an injection. I don't know if it makes it fuller and rounder, if it's just removing wrinkles like face Botox. I don't know. All right. Most clients undergoing the $900 procedure are aged between 25 and 40. Around 30% of them fly in from out of state. Oh, okay, so it's a lot of travel butt toxers there. Okay. All right, day trippers probably. I mean, I don't know how long the procedure takes. Procedure designed for people who receive, oh goodness, um an act in the rear. If you're into receiving that act, apparently I guess that's what this is for. So I don't think this is a agent to fill the butt up and make it more rotund and plump. As it says, it's designed for people who receive a certain vile act that's committed in prisons everywhere. But apparently, this procedure that this gentleman implements, it just takes 3 minutes to complete, and yeah, alleviates discomfort for those who have a tight anatomy. It can also aid in the healing of fissures and hemorrhoids. I mean, I think they're just adding that last part on so that you can tell people that. You're like, no, I didn't get the butt talks because I'm super into that other thing. I got the butt talks because I am trying to heal my fissures and hemorrhoids. Yes, it's a very odd story. That's right. I'm seeing the text slide up here. That's the beauty of the New York Post. You never quite know what you're going to get. It's a particularly weird brand of junk news sites. Or sometimes you'll end up having to recommend like a hotline at the end of these things for people if you followed us last week. All right. At present, yeah, apparently this guy does about 5 of the procedures per week, but expects more bookings in the coming weeks. Hot. All right. Oh my goodness. Apparently there's a filler of men's units that's apparently pretty popular. That costs up to 10 grand. So yeah, the front unit for the gentleman there, I think you can use a filler on that, and that causes about 10 grand. So all right, that seems to be about the conclusion of this. Apparently, there's strong word of mouth for this. That's good. He's booking up to 25 unit filler appointments per week. So that's good. Guys just out there working on their stuff and filling it up. I had to go the opposite direction myself. I had to have some removed. It's different strokes for different folks out there. And it says here, quote, I have your blue collar worker who works for the city, and I have your C-suite executives who are flying in from Texas. I wonder who those guys are. All right, well, apparently these are no longer once taboo treatments. All right, based on the weirdness, I'm going to up the score of that one to an 81. I'm not going to say that I enjoyed that story a tremendous amount, but it was very New York Post. All right. This one, I have no idea where it's going to go. My wife's psychic lied about me having an affair. Now everyone wants me to take her back. I need to read this a couple times. My wife's psychic lied. So this guy's wife has a psychic. She lied about him having an affair. Now everyone wants him to take her back. All right. Well, I mean, it's a jumbly headline, but it's very New York Posty. So I'm gonna give it a 63 because it's a little confusing, but it's also beautiful in its confusingness there, or confusion. All right, let's see what it's got. Let's see what adventure this holds here. Okay. A gentleman is following through with divorcing his wife after her psychic friend falsely informed her that he was cheating. Um, Basically, this guy posted online, am I the a-hole for refusing to consider stopping our divorce after my ex admitted her psychic friend lied about me having an affair? All right. He said he met his wife in college, made the obviously terrible assumption that the fact that she was in post secondary education meant she had a modicum of common sense. Okay, so I think in this post, wherever this guy posted this originally, I don't think he buys into the psychic nature of what her friend is peddling here based on this first sentence. So he said he met his wife in college and then he made the terrible assumption that the fact that she was in post secondary education meant she had a modicum of common sense. So I'm going to say this guy's probably a real a hole, but okay. I'm not going to say that I believe psychics by any means, but guy just kind of sounds like an a hole already. All right, the couple lived for 2 years together, or sorry, the couple lived together for 2 years before marrying. And at their wedding, uh, this guy met a friend of hers, and at the wedding, she offered to read my palm. Okay, so at the wedding, his wife's friend offered to read his palm since she was part gypsy. Is gypsy allowed anymore? I don't know if that's like an allowed term or something like that. So, all right, she was part gypsy. He said, and I don't know what's allowed. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. He said, which he found weird. I am in construction, and I know a few people from that group, and they call themselves Roma. He said. See, already this is terrible writing. You can see the New York Post is a terrible outfit. The friend is a seamstress and does not frequently visit. He and his wife only saw her maybe 4 times during the last couple years, and that's when it got all weird. All of a sudden, his wife started acting weird, starts checking in on me at work, coming by when I'm working late, asking to use my phone because hers is almost out of power, that sort of thing. Uh, and then she accused him of having an affair, which he thought was a joke. I laugh and said, or sorry, he laughs, says he's not. Okay. All right. Sounds just like a long story about, okay, yeah, these two people argue about an affair being ridiculous. This guy saying that he loves his wife. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so basically his wife took the psychic's word over his. All good. Wife asked the dude to move out. He had nowhere else to go. What up, Joey? What up, Robert, my pig, and Christina and everyone else in there? What's happening? Daniel, as always. Leonon, love you dudes. Fort C, you're my guy. So apparently, yeah, they spent the next 2 months like trying to convince the wife that he wasn't having an affair. But apparently, the wife just super believed it. I guess the wife just really believed in psychics. I guess this is all okay. 6 months and yeah, okay. Sorry, after reading on. Yeah, this is a ridiculous story about a woman who believes a psychic, probably more than her husband. Seems like the family had to get involved. Seems like she hired a private investigator, spent about 6 months tracking the dude, and didn't come up with anything. So now, after she didn't come up with anything, she's asking to come back. My lord, this is a long post. The psychic did help you dodge a huge bullet. So okay. Yeah, basically the dude's not going to take his wife back now because she didn't trust him and she believed the psychic stuff. So it's more a just dumb think piece kind of stuff. So or a dumb think piece on, hey, what would you do if your wife divorced you because she thought you were having an affair because a psychic friend told her so, but then it turned out you actually weren't and she asked to come back. Do you actually still love her? What a dilemma. God, the New York Post sucks sometimes. This is like a 22. All right. And that's the bummer of the New York Post. Sometimes they just bait you into those things and it's a long article about nothing. Nothing but crap. All right. The U.S. state with the most OnlyFans creators, and it will shock you. All right. I love the tease already. I love the it will shock you. Very New York Post. Which U.S. state with the most OnlyFans creators? I can tell you I've read a lot of New York Post stories. Typically, they don't give you every state. You have to go hunt for the dang data. So I'm always like, all right, they'll give you like 6 states in here, I bet. We'll see though. So I'm going to rate it right down the middle, a 50. Right down the middle. We'll go 50. Let's see what the actual article holds here. Okay. First line Kinky, Connecticut. The Constitution state appears to have the most OnlyFans creators in the nation, according to a new research into the adults only subscription site. Sex toy company Bed Bible. All right. Used a particular OnlyFans search engine to scour through profiles for keywords. Okay. They found that Connecticut was the state that returned the highest number of results. Okay. All right. Most of them are in New Haven, Connecticut. So, dudes, ladies, whatever. If you want to go be a creator, I think you need to move to Connecticut. Or if you're just looking to hook up or appear in an OnlyFans video or like, one of those adult actresses' videos or something like that, go hang out in New Haven, Connecticut, apparently. I don't think it's a big moneymaker. It says there's a lot of people there. They're earning a median income of about $497 per month from OnlyFans. So I don't think there's any big heavy hitters there. Or if there are big heavy hitters, and I'm not talking about size, uh, then they're offset by a huge glut volume of people that are not earning much at all. They have like one subscriber for $8 or something like that. But either way, Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut, got a ton of OnlyFans creators. Nevada, the state with the second highest number of users, apparently. Yeah, that may come as no surprise given that it's home to Las Vegas. Yeah, porn hotspots. Sorry. I have to drink some. Hawaii, North Dakota, Maine, Iowa, New Hampshire. All right, I see like three more on here. I'll let you guys guess. Yeah, Tommy G guessed. They're $5 on Utah. Utah didn't make it for OnlyFans creators. What's up? Yeah, Mark, how's it going, Tommy G? No, Utah didn't make it. No, let's see. Yeah, the cold states for sure. The last three are Indiana, relatively cold. Florida, I think that's just because all the old people down there are just hooking up and shagging like crazy. So I think that's where Florida gets on the list. I think it's a lot of old creators. And then Colorado round out the top 10. Yeah, they gave us the top 10 there. That's what's the bummer. I've covered enough of these New York Post stories to know that they never give you the full data. You have to go hunt down the original data source there. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's the end of that article there. Pretty juicy. Texas didn't make it, which is a bummer because based on volume, Texas typically does pretty well in these things. Just because we've got a lot of people here. So you would think there would be a lot of freaking creators, but nah, we didn't make it happen. All right. I'll say it was short and to the point, and it's very New York Posty. That could have been done by anybody else, but either way, I'm going to give it a 75. Good job, New York Post. All right, this one looks like total garbage. How did Friday become our favorite day of the week? Astrology has the answer. I don't think so. I think it's just because it's Friday and it's the weekend, and I think that's probably it. I don't know how long term this study is going to be from astrology here, but let's see. We're going to start it at a 30. I have very low expectations for this post right here. So let's see how they did. Okay. Everybody loves a Friday, and the reason why is rooted in astrology. Not true. Just like the zodiac signs themselves, each day of the week is governed by a ruling planet. And just as the signs are imbued with the energy of their respective ruler, so too is each day. The names of the days themselves are rooted in myth, Roman and Norse alike. Very little about Roman and Norse stuff. When we honor the spirit of each one, we can leverage it for our benefit. Okay. Yeah, because we live in a capitalist wheel that grinds bones and demands toil, our work week misguidedly begins on a Monday, a day ruled by the moon. Tuesday belongs to Mars, the god of war, and is thus a prime time for sex, sports, and corporate takeovers. What? People are getting mad sex on Tuesday nights? I don't think I've had a hookup on a Tuesday night in ages. No deal. No way. I mean, good for those people out there. But Tuesday belongs to Mars, the god of war, and is thus a prime time for sex, sports, and corporate takeovers. All right, corporate takeovers, I get. It's the middle of the week. It's early in the week. You get Monday to get your ducks in a row. Man, if you guys are slamming on Tuesdays, more power to you. Way to go. Wednesday is the territory of Mercury, the god of messaging, making Hump Day a great time to send a sext. Good Lord. New York Post, they'll find a way. Sign a deal or present a PowerPoint. That was like the same damn three things they just said in the last one. Thursday is ruled by a drunk uncle and lucky duck Jupiter, making it the day of days for games of chance, risky romance, and shooting our proverbial shots. All right? Games of chance, risky romance. I don't engage in many risky romances being a married man, but I'm trying to think of what that could mean. Does that mean hooking up in a moving vehicle or like on public transportation? Is that a risky romance? Or does it mean somebody that's probably known to have the herp? Something like that. I don't know what a risky romance is. But apparently Thursdays are the days that is going down. The Cure picked Friday to fall in love with, and it's no surprise. Cheeky joke from the New York Post. This day of days is the beacon at the end of the dark tunnel. The pearl that promises rest and revelry are nigh. Friday. Yeah, we're in love. I agree, Sports C. I don't like the term drunk uncle and risky romance in the same sentence. Yeah, the New York Post really walking some weird lines here with Thursday is ruled by drunk uncle and lucky duck. And then risky romance not 8 words later. That's terrifying. You know, there might need to be a hotline number at the end of this one that people need to reach out to. So Friday, the last gasp of the work week, the pre-party, the freedom bell, the edge of autonomy, the patron saint of happy hours, art openings, and cutting out of the office early belongs to Venus, planet of love, beauty, attraction, aesthetics, and ambient light. Friday plays host to a manner of all good times and glad rags. Gross. Notable exceptions include, for the superstitious or religious, same but different, Friday the 13th, and the curiously named Good Friday. The word Friday derives from Frigg's Day, Frigg being the wife of Odin. All right, I know that's probably a Greek or Roman thing. Oh, okay, and the Norse goddess of fertility, clairvoyance, and wedded bliss. I'm getting bored now. All right, they're boring me. Venus is rightly associated with sensuality and appetites of every kind, but all too often we associate sensuality with sexual pleasure. But that's selling ourselves short. Okay. Peeling an orange, feeling the sun on your skin, or taking a long, slow pull from a tall, cool drink can be just as erotic as sex itself. All right. I think this really paid off here. Yeah, tease out, feet bare, hair wet. Venus was and is here to party. Well, I like that tagline. Tease out, feet bare, hair wet. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Venus is a shameless flirt. Conversational Cartesian. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I think Venus is the Friday day. And based on a picture over here, yeah, she just lets her teas hang out. That's no joke. And it says that right here in the article. Okay. Yeah. Friday is an ideal day to date yourself. I think we all know what that means. Friday, date yourself, apparently. So, run out to the mailbox, grab a new Sports Illustrated if you want. As depicted in Botticelli's painting, the birth of Venus, the goddess of love, was born from the mingling of the salty depths and the severed member of the god Uranus. Sprung fully formed from the sea foam, delivered onto the island of Cyprus in a clamshell. Okay. I mean, clamshell, I could do a lot with that. I'm just going to leave it there. All right, yeah. Also says Friday's a perfect day to take a dip, whether you're proximate to the ocean or a bathtub. Let it run. Incorporate water into your end of week self-care. A foot bath, facial steam, skinny dip, or long soak are all prime ways to honor and emulate the shell-dwelling goddess of feeling good. All right. Well, that really paid off there. Venus, I think you really over-delivered. I think that one actually really over-delivered. Uranus was in the Botox story too. That's right, Robert. I'm bad at talking. I'm actually going to kick that up to an 88. That was a beautiful. I really had low expectations for that one right there. Okay, this one, it's what let me put this photo on here. It got me excited because this one is so New York Post. You've been squirting ketchup wrong your whole life. Here's the secret correct way. Okay, it's not going to be good. It has to be a letdown. It's the most clickbaity thing ever. It's going to be like some 22-degree angle, or I'm trying to guess what this article is going to be because it's going to be stupid. So I'm going to give it very low expectations here too. I'm going to think this is going to be in a low 20s at the end here. So yeah, 22, just like the other one. I'll mix it up. 19. I think it's even going to be worse than that. But look at that beautiful pour. And that's not maybe that's a squeeze bottle. It's hard to tell anymore. Yeah, it kind of looks squeezy. I don't know that that's full glass. All right, let's see what we got here. You've been squirting ketchup wrong. Gross. Here's the secret correct way. Oh, here we go. We got a New York Post pun. Here we go. Never heard of this hack? Time to catch up. I got to get a sound effect for hold on. I got to get my board going where I have enough stuff here. So I don't have any laughter right now, I don't think. But yeah, never heard of this hack? Time to catch up. Man, that pun was good, wasn't it? There we go. All the production value I have today. You got the intro. You got the sad trombone one time, even though that wasn't a very sad story. I needed a fake laugh. That's what I needed there. All right. Oh gosh, I already hate this. One savvy social media person recently had the internet reaching for the bottle after sharing a savory hack that makes life much easier for condiment lovers. This woman, known for a series of popular life explainer videos, teased out the seamless way to make a plastic Heinz bottle pour all by itself. No burping, no spitting required. Okay. They've already used the word squirting and spitting here, and we're only we're only 3 sentences in. The trick, he said, is to fight one's natural instincts to grip the main section of the gravity bottles that many brands of ketchup are sold in today. I think the gravity bottles are the ones that are, like upside down. And I do see a lot of talk about the tomato water here. Tomato water's the worst. Mustard water, also really, really tough. I feel like that one goes away faster, but it's a really, really gross kind of water. You accidentally squeeze it right on top of your dog. Oh, it's bad news. All right. Thinking there's a lot of visual aids here. I apologize. So now if you were to squeeze a gravity bottle from the front like this, you have to physically squeeze it for it to come out. But if you squeeze a bottle from the sides and then release, here I can pull some of what he's got onto my. Let's see. I think he's saying don't, and I don't want to show ads. That's why I don't share the screen here. So yeah, I guess from the top and side, saying don't go like this. We're not gonna go with the side squeeze like you would think to. I think you're gonna go from the top up here, an upside down container. All right, or maybe like this. Easier to let the ketchup flow by a one-time squeeze of the bottle's side. Oh, man, this is already seeming like a big letdown here. Hey, maybe the video is just incredible. Yeah, I don't want to show other people's ads and stuff like that. So get back over to my draft, or my little sheet here. Okay, I didn't get a lot out of that. I will try some new fingering tactics on my ketchup bottle next time to see if I can get it to squirt or spit in a different kind of way. Burping would alarm me. I've seen it burp a few times, but it's been a while. I mean, that was in my younger days. I'll tell you that much. So, man, I'm going to give that story like a 31. I think that's a really poor story overall. They were just looking for anything. And you can see a lot of these articles. Oh, it's just somebody found a TikTok thing. And they're like, "Hey, this TikToker had something that went on. Let's uh let's make that a whole story." And that's not a story. That right there was not a story. Hey, you should squeeze your ketchup bottle a little bit better. And yes, Joey, proper fingering tactics will result in a clean squirt, no excess water involved. So I do implore everyone to at least try some new tactics this weekend because I typically do the shake. Sorry, I forget what arm I'm on here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I guess I got a pretty wide field of view in this setup. So I typically get it over here and just kind of shake. And then, yeah, I would go with the side squeeze, you know. I guess pretty similar to how he said not to do it, but I also do make the mistake of storing the gravity bottle upside down and then get really upset at myself. Uh, Happens a bunch with the jelly containers too. I do that with like the Smucker's jelly. I'll store it the wrong way. Yeah, exactly. Side squeeze. So and I'll be honest, my jelly usage is cut back since I started going with the Uncrustable, since it's pre-jellied up. Once it's pre-jellied and pre-jammed, you don't have to get that bottle out near as much. All right. US expat tries out bizarre Aussie supermarket dating trend. So this one I did see when the preview here, it showed a banana. So it showed like a bushel of bananas and said there was a bizarre supermarket dating trend. So I am really hoping that this dating trend is to just grab a giant bushel of bananas to like subconsciously signal to people that you've got a huge hog. So I'm hoping that's what this is. Let's see. All right. Expats dating trend. Where are we? Here we are. Okay. Yep, there's the bananas. Only four of them. It's a bushel of 4 bananas, is what I'm seeing here. Okay. Heading to the supermarket might be the best thing you can do for your love life. Is that really true? Again, I was not a young single person when I had like cash to hit the supermarket in any real way. Like I would not go to Whole Foods and prowl for women by any means. But maybe that works. I don't know. It always feels like people are there are there just trying to shop or get stuff. I don't think they're really looking to talk to randos, but what do I know? At least at the Kroger by me and Allen, it doesn't look like anybody's trying to get hit on or picked up there. If they are, they're not dressing like they're trying to. I'll tell you that much. All right. And me included. I'm typically in pajama pants. I'm not trying to get picked up there. Good heavens. All right. A woman living in Sydney, an American woman living in Sydney, Australia, shared a supermarket dating theory she has been testing out. The theory is simple. You walk around the supermarket like usual, but with bananas in your trolley facing up to indicate that you are single and ready to mingle. Yeah, like Robert Weir here said, an upside down pineapple gets you some, if not more. So I think that's essentially what this lady's doing. You walk around the supermarket like usual, but with bananas in your trolley, I think your basket, bananas in your basket. If you've got bananas in your basket at the grocery store and you're just walking around with them face up, hot. But that indicates you are single and ready to mingle. So yeah, take the banana vertical, put it right up there in your basket, let the ladies know. But this is a woman, a relatively attractive young woman. Good Lord. Okay. Uh, does anyone know what time the singles go to Neutral Bay Woolworths on Mondays? My coworker told me it is a thing, and if you put bananas in your cart, it means you're single. Okay. Could eyes meet while you're shivering in the frozen food section, and some Prince Charming could offer you his jacket? Or could a fellow single make a move by offering you an actually edible avocado? The supermarket meet cute possibilities are endless. Okay. Um, This woman conceded that she hadn't seen anyone in the aisles that looked relatively young and attractive with bananas in their carts, but she was hoping she was just shopping at the wrong time. Okay, this seems like a total bust for this woman, I'm not going to lie. Uh yeah, they're all saying that it can happen. It's an old theory from the 90s, but I'd love to bring it back. It just needs some more awareness. Okay, so that's the thing. This is something I had heard in the 90s was like, Yeah, go to a bookstore, or go pick up women at the grocery store, or something like that. Go to the produce section. So I had heard this, but like Mark Bonney mentions there in the chat, I typically give off the vibe, don't talk to me. I typically have earbuds in and I'm listening to something. Like it would be very difficult to engage me in communication. I feel bad, but yeah, it would be tough. Online, singles were quick to respond to this banana dating theory. Who doesn't want to meet someone without having to sift through thousands of online dating profiles that involve men holding fish? Okay. All right, so I guess maybe the banana thing is an easier way to just go see him in person versus having to. And I guess you do. You knock it all out in 1 hour. You just go there. Everybody comes in. You get the biggest bananas you can find. You cruise around the grocery store. If you don't see any hotties, you're out of there. If you see a hottie, you're going home tonight and hooking up. Excellent. All right. Once one user said, "Yeah, you got to go at 8 p.m., not noon. You have to have the bananas pointing up, not down. That means you're ready and looking." Another person said they thought it was Tuesday. So, yeah, they got to get on the same page here in Australia. Thought people just went to the bar or something like that, but maybe this is like, hey, I don't drink and I eat bananas. So, I mean, okay. Yeah, I said if you have a pineapple upside down in your basket, you are telling everybody that you are a swinger and you are open to swinging. We've known this for a while. Oh, gosh, sorry, I'm hitting the mic cord. I've known it for a while. The swingers, they love the upside down pineapple. Okay. That was pretty much the entire post there. That's fine. Oh, I didn't rate the article beforehand. Son of a b. All right. Well, it was about a 52 either way. Okay, this one's very dumb. Being hydrated makes you a better person. All right, let me rate this thing. Let me think about it. I don't know that it does. I could see that it makes your mood better. I don't know that it makes you a legitimately better person. I'm sure it makes you in a better mood, of course, as I drink soda, make my mouth more weird. All right, so I'm going to rate it beforehand here. Hydrated makes you a better person. I think this is going to be a real dud. 8. I think it's going to be an absolute stinker. So let's see what they do with it here. Okay. Being hydrated. Confidence, generosity, and productivity. A new study shows the various ways water intake affects work quality, relationships, and mood. Okay. Yeah, I could see that you could be in a better mood if you've had more water than if you had less water. Duh. According to a recent poll of 2,000 Americans, people who are hydrated on a regular basis are more receptive to constructive criticism compared to those that are dehydrated. 33% versus 22%. All right. So constructive criticism. That's something. And this dumb thing. Constructive criticism is certainly something to take note of for sure. I don't know that water would make that. I think if you're an a-hole who doesn't like constructive criticism, I don't know that water is going to change that. But maybe water will be able to balance that out. I'm sorry, it's the problem of being live. People light me up with stuff. 956, thank you. So hydrated constructive criticism, cool. Coincidentally or not, hydrated Americans are also more likely to help a coworker in need than dehydrated Americans. What the hell kind of survey is that? How would you even survey people for that? That makes no sense. This more sounds like personality types. The survey split respondents between those who are properly hydrated on a regular day, 68% of people, those who said they're typically dehydrated, 10%, and those who placed themselves somewhere in the middle, about 22%. Okay. There's a stock photo of a young jogging woman drinking some water. Oh, commissioned by Brio Water for National Drinking Water Week and conducted by Talker Research. The study found more than a few quality of life and work quality positives related to proper hydration. Maybe you could just not be an a-hole, Dan. All right. Those who said they're hydrated on an average day are more likely than their dehydrated counterparts to cook. 64% versus 58%. Spend quality time with friends and family. And read. Okay, so It sounds like just hydrated people. Yes, I hate to admit it. Their headline was kind of dead on. These people are just better humans. I don't know that there's a direct correlation. I mean, I guess they're correlating the data here that says these people are hydrated. Maybe they're just nicer people. I don't know. Nicer people just drink water, but this is propaganda. I agree, Christina Massey. This is absolute propaganda. 8 in 10 Americans said their lives, including work quality, relationships, health, and mood, would improve if they improved their hydration. What a load of ass. My entire life. This is rampant propaganda where they're just telling you your life will legitimately be better if you drink water. Now, I don't think they're wrong. I think the US Department of Health would probably be like, hey, yes, we recommend you drink water. It makes you healthier. Thereby, it will help some other areas of your life like mood. But I mean, reading and cooking, that just might be what people are into versus whether or not water is going to make you all of a sudden want to read more or cook more. If you always go out to eat because you like restaurants, I don't think water is going to suddenly change that. If you are illiterate, I don't think reading is going to be impacted by your water intake. Yeah, exactly. What if better people just drink water? That's the thing. Like, I'm not drinking. I've got 3 different drink options for me here. I've got a little bit of an espresso that's left over from this morning that I'll probably finish at some point here with the straw. I've got a root beer that also contains caffeine, and then water down here. I'll do water in a sec. Espresso's calling my name. Yes, the majority of people said they're a nicer person if they're sufficiently hydrated. I mean, you could say all of this about sleep, I would imagine. Like, hey, if I got enough sleep, I'd probably be more likely to read the next day. Or if I got enough sleep, I'd probably be more likely to uh probably be more likely to go hang out with my friends because I can't go hang out if I'm dead ass tired. So, okay, the average American, so now we get some water stats. Oh, badass stats. Terribly sorry again. I'm working on it. I need a cough button for mouth drinking. And I need a like we'll be right back sounder that I can just go while I drink stuff. Looking at water intake throughout the day, the average American will start drinking water at 9 a.m., chug water come noon, and stop drinking water around 4 p.m. All right. After that, I guess they just go to alcohol or wine or something like that. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't start my day with water. I know I should. I do feel better if I start my day with water, but I typically start it with coffee. That's bad. Which has water in it. It's coffee beans, but there's water that I put into that machine, so I feel like I'm getting some water. However, a quarter of respondents to this survey, geez, we're still on the survey. A quarter of them avoid drinking water in general because they're afraid of taking too many bathroom breaks during the day. Hell yes! That's the kind of excuse you want. When your doctor asks you, why aren't you drinking enough water? You're like, well, I don't want to go to the bathroom. I don't like going to the bathroom. I'm sorry. I don't want to get up. I love work too much, doctor. My boss loves me for that. I just love to work. I can't drink water. I'm sorry. I have to. Can't take the breaks. Uh, During a busy day, Americans reported drinking beverages other than water, going from task to task without taking breaks, and running out of bottled water as the top reasons they forget to drink water throughout the day. Okay. So yeah, if you're busy, you don't drink as much water. Duh. Sorry. Other than forgetfulness, I try not to duh anymore. It's very 5th grade. I haven't duhed in a long time. I'm sorry. Other than forgetfulness, factors that most influence water intake include exercise, physical activity, seasonality, being busyness, and mood, and the taste of their water. There's a good point. If your water tastes like garbage, you won't drink as much of it. You want some water now. Oh, give me some of this beautiful, delicious H2O here. Oh, that's the good stuff. So sweet when it hits your lips. Apparently, this propaganda is working. Thank you, Brio. Thank you, National Drinking Water Week, for everything you've done for this country. Apparently, National Drinking Water Week takes place from May 5th through May 11th. We're getting to the end of it here. Let's all celebrate by chugging water, more water than is healthy for us. So we encourage everyone to take a look at their water intake and evaluate if it's up to par. Improving your hydration is one of the simplest and easiest ways to improve your quality of life. Okay, I'm going to end this article here because I've spent too much time. I gave it an 8. I'm not bringing it up much. I'm bringing it up to a 12. That article did not do much for me. It was a bunch of water stats. It was paid for by a water company. It was clearly a marketing ploy by National Drink Water Week, whatever the hell that is. I'm sure somebody somewhere made some money off that, and I just read it, and that gave them more money that I spent 8 minutes scrolling through that entire freaking article. But hey, maybe we did a little good here today. Maybe we did spread some awareness for National Drinking Water Week, and those stats are going to help you in your regular everyday life. I doubt they're going to do much for me. I think I'm going to double down. I'm going to pour all the water out after I get it out of my faucet just to spite National Drink Water Week. And then I'm going to do everything I can to dehydrate myself to be a real a-hole. I'm going to start heavy drugs, all the pills I can find. Then I'm going to drink beer. I think that's a dehydrant. All coffee, straight espresso. I'm going to go back to that in a second here. I'm at the real tail end of it, the little slurp sound. So I'll do everything in my power to dehydrate until the end of National Drink Water Week just to spite that 12 score article. All right, moving on. Here's the one thing you should never do to a crush. I bet this clickbait is gonna suck. But I do like that it's in the like sex and relationships section. So I'm gonna give it a 15 to start. The one thing you should never do to a crush. I would say try to make a run at her mom is probably the best thing that you would probably want to not do. Um, you could go for it, but it's going to turn out weird at some point. Yeah, exactly. If the one thing isn't murder, then the article is wrong. Exactly. That should be any article that's like here's the one thing you shouldn't do. It should always be explicit like, "Hey, remember, the one thing is don't murder your crush, okay? Cuz that's not good for anybody. Causes a lot of paperwork more than anything. The heartache is one thing, but the paperwork, the mortician's busy. The crime scene investigator guys are busy. I've seen that show CSI. There was that guy who was really into bugs, I think. I don't know. Maybe he's dead. Grissom or something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time. So I'm going to rate it a 15. Let's go take a look, see what we got here. The one thing you should never do to a crush. Fact. I often use Instagram as a dating tool. Yes, this small rectangular device that fits into the palm of our hand holds the key to all sorts of hookups. Sure, dating apps are cute, but nothing beats a cheeky slide into the DMs of your intended crush. And I am a big believer in doing a bit of research on your potential love match or one night stand before you catch up. All right, so already whoever wrote this article is a real saucy gal. Or dude, it doesn't sound like a dude wrote it, but whatever. But big believer in doing a bit of research on your potential love match or one night stand before you catch up. So you hook up with a dude randomly and you don't know anything about him. So then you go to his Instagram and you find out he's a professional mime. That's got to be devastating. All right, so we can find out how they spend their weekends, what kind of friends they hang out with, their personal style, and take a sneak peek at their living space. Heck, if we scroll deep enough, we can even find out what their ex looked like. Hot. But recently I was reminded of the one thing we shouldn't do on Instagram to a potential crush. All right, finally getting to the meat here. They set me up, they got me going. You see, I was on oh God, I'm not going to read the name of some podcast that this person was on. After a brief ponder, I remember the man who was following my Instagram and would occasionally send me messages consisting of fire emojis or compliments. Perfectly fine and not terrible for the old self-esteem. I never responded and took them as some harmless attempts at flirting. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know what side she's about to land on here. Man was following me on Instagram, occasionally send messages of fire emojis or compliments. All right, never responded, took them as harmless. But then one day, I had posted a story of myself at my local pub, and he saw it and decided to come and attempt those pickup lines in real life. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. D- yeah, stalker behavior, of course. I mean, this is true. Yes, I mean, I would say if you've never, was it a friend in real life? That's what I'm confused. I mean, any creepy experiences with a follower? Okay, so I think this person has never met them in real life, which would make sense. I was like, if they're a friend of yours and they saw that you were at the bar, shoot them a text and be like, "Hey, seems like you're hanging out down there. Might swing by later. How long you guys hanging out?" But yeah, if you've never met them and you've only done the fire emoji thing to like some rando on Instagram, probably not a good deal. But is this your crush? I don't know that that defines as a crush. Okay, now if I had responded to his previous attempts or given him any form of encouragement, I could almost see how that would be okay, but I hadn't. As I walked to the bar to get a drink, oh, now it gets real bad. I felt someone grab my arm to stop me. All right, well, already you're in trouble right there. You're going to want to avoid physical contact at any point in time. If you're already on a stalking mission based on an Instagram story on your crush, who I guess you've never met in real life, don't really see how that's a crush. That just seems like somebody you're, I don't know, lusting after. Like, I think your crush has to know who you are for it to be a crush. Otherwise, sure, I crush on Amanda Seyfried, but I don't think she knows who I am. So, I mean, yeah, I won't go hit her up at a bar. I can assure you of that. Um, yeah, so I felt someone grab my arm to stop me. I turned around and instantly felt icky. He must have been all covered in goo. I get it. I was face to face with the guy who'd been sliding into my DMs on a fairly regular basis. He said, "Hi, Jana. I saw you were here, so I thought I would come and say hi." Yeah, this doesn't even seem like this is the one thing. I was like, it seems like there's multiple steps before this, but this is certainly a absolute no-no. Uh, I looked around to see if he was with friends, but he was clearly by himself. Okay. Shame on me for posting my location. So yeah, here's what I'm talking about. I have a feeling at the end of this article, there might be a number for a hotline. Because a lot of these turn into like, hey, and then some guy met me and I ended up in abusive relationship. So call domestic abuse hotline or something. This one doesn't quite all the way veer there, but let me get down because yeah, it's shame on me for posting my location. So this does seem very public awareness announcement. Okay. Yeah, dude went creepy. He kept trying to slidle into the group, sidle, sorry, attempting to chat me up. And when that failed, he tried to make conversation with my friends. Okay. Eventually, we turned to a group of men next to us and asked if we could stand with them. All right, fine. Thankfully, they realized why and took the reins from there. Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. This guy sounds like he probably had some issues as it was or as it is. So I'm going to read down here. This woman. You may think it looks innocent and friendly, but it does not. If you like someone, simply ask them out. Okay, so I guess maybe she's saying just slide into the DMs. Don't ever go in there. Yeah. Yeah, never post your location while you're there. Exactly. I think that's what this woman did indicate there. But again, something I don't ever think about. You know, like I'll go to the state fair and I'll take my dumb big text pic and be like, hey, you know, state fair or some crap like that. So that is a situation I've never had to consider. So it's also the beauty of reading some of these articles is that they teach you something you don't think about. So hey, don't share your location while you're at a place if you are a single woman who might have a crush out there, or if you're anybody, if you're a single dude who might have a crush out there who will come stalk you. Don't do that. So for its informative nature, the one thing you should never do to a crush is stalk them, which is pretty close to murder them, like we had in the original there. 85. Seeing my close to the top there. It hasn't taken down Friday and the topless Venus where you can go pleasure yourself because it's Friday. But okay, let's see if anyone else can beat it. Got woman's attempt to steal truck thwarted by her inability to drive stick shift. All right, I'll tell you this one is probably not exclusive to the New York Post, but it is very dumb. It's the type of dumb criminal stories they'll do that, NBC News is not going to cover this kind of stuff. So let's see what it is here. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward as a headline. Woman's attempt to steal truck thwarted by her inability to drive stick shift. Go 50 right down the middle on this guy. I will tell you, I have no idea how to drive stick shift. My wife used to drive one years ago, and that is not a euphemism for anything. So yeah, when she was in college, she definitely drove one, and same in high school, and I've known her for a long time. So I used to drive around with her, and I would ride in the passenger seat while she was a badass who could drive a stick shift. Again, not a euphemism for something. I apologize. And she tried to teach me one time, and I'm gonna say this: I am not very good with a stick. I'm not good with the shifting and the clutch and all that stuff. So I never learned how to do it. I tried on a Mustang and I think it went real bad. So I feel for this woman who attempted to steal a truck. Let's see what this story holds for you here. All right, lady. A Colorado woman's attempt to swipe a truck was thwarted after she was left stumped behind the wheel of the stick shift vehicle, police said. Stick shift for the win, the Boulder Police Department said in a press release. Boulder Police Department going pretty loosey-goosey on the press releases because it is spelled out as FTW. Robert, 55, just got my first automatic. I'm jealous of the people that could do it. I had multiple friends growing up that could do it, and I never learned. My old man didn't have a stick shift car, but it certainly prevented me from ever being a valet because I knew that was always a requirement, is that, hey, if you want to be a valet driver, you have to know how to do this. And then dudes that worked on like work trucks, or like if you had any business doing that, they all knew how to do it. So plenty of friends. I never learned. Bad. So not a standard recommendation for car theft prevention, but this past Friday, a stick shift kept a thief from getting far in a stolen car. Right. Caught after inability to drive the vehicle caused her to crash into a fire hydrant. Badass. If you crash into fire hydrants, do they spew up water the way they do in movies like that? I would imagine so. I've never seen anybody like drive right into one and knock one out. I know, like, you see in the movies people like crack them open back in like the 50s and stuff like that. And everybody like, there's water in the streets and stuff like that. Or, pipes burst and it's overflowed. I've never been around one, so I don't know. It's also amazing that firemen can just pull up to those things anytime and open it up, crank in, get some water, but it's there. So yeah, she crashed into a fire hydrant. Authorities said the 26-year-old had just been released from jail the day before after she was caught stealing a different car. Bad ass. You can steal a car and get out the next day? I mean, I know you can plea. I mean, yeah, you can bond out and all that kind of stuff, and they'll let you out on your own recognizance sometimes. I mean, I'm sure she got a bail bond, but damn, she tried to steal a car the next day? I don't know that they'll let you out after that. I mean, if you're that big of a risk of committing the exact same crime, it's like you're not a flight risk, but we're pretty damn sure you're going to go try to steal a car again today. All right, police said that while she was walking, she spotted a truck, saw the keys, got inside, and drove off. Police said that her plan was foiled since she did not know how to drive the truck's manual transmission. Yeah, so this is a short and sweet story. Exactly what it sounded like. I'm not going to bump it up much more. It's at 55. All right, let's see what Brandon's got here in the chat. I worked for a dealership when I was 18. Had to do an oil change on a brand new Mustang GT stick shift. Told them I didn't know how to drive a stick. Boss told me to figure it out, and it was a customer. So yeah, that's tough. I feel bad for that customer for sure. Because yes, my now wife, when she was in college, drove a pretty badass Mustang. I don't know if it was a GT, but it might have been. It definitely moved. And yeah, I had no shot at it. She tried to teach me one time, and I had no shot. All right, this story I was very, very excited for. Most Americans agree you stop being cool at this age. So I'm going to drink a little bit of this delicious H2O water that I've been fed to by the Brio Water Corporation for National Water Drinking Week. And real quick there, if you're in the chat on YouTube or Twitter or wherever you're watching this thing, pop in what age. What do you think? Most Americans agree you stop being cool at this age. I mean, it's got to be 30, right? That's what it was when I was growing up. I haven't felt cool for a long time. Yep, 45. That's it. It's like, I think I'm still cool, but I don't know. It says most Americans. That okay, so yeah, it's not what young people think, it's what most Americans think. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go in the 30s too. I'll hang 35. 40. I see we got 45s and 35s and 40s coming in. All right. I haven't clicked on it, so I don't know yet either, or I don't know yet either. Ah, most Americans, I think, are gonna say 40. I mean, maybe 35 if they're. Yeah, it's tough. It's almost like gender too. I feel like. I mean, like I feel like dudes, although they age better, I don't know that they're cool necessarily. And same thing with women. It's tricky. I don't know that it's gender based at all. There, that's tough. Trying to think, what makes you cool? I don't know. I'm not cool, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm not cool. Oh, rate the story. Thank you. Yes, I do need to rate the headline. Most Americans agree you stop being cool at this age. Thank you. I'm new to my formatting here. I think based on the headline, it's very New York Posty. I think it's already going to be like a 79. I think it's a pretty strong headline. I think it's going to pay off. I know there's only going to be one answer, but maybe there's a few other data points there as well, or data points as well that we can have some fun with. So I think it's going to be a pretty good story overall. Let's see what. Back to my window. All right. If you're baffled by TikTok or unfamiliar with Taylor Swift's latest music, don't worry. 1 in 2 Americans feels out of touch with what's cool. Again, a new survey from Talker Research examined how confident Americans feel when it comes to keeping up with pop culture and found 49% feel they are out of touch overall. Okay, again, we have not gotten to the age yet, all right? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm 38 years old. I will turn 39 in June. The inevitable age will hit where the world of cool no longer speaks to us can vary, but the consensus showed you generally expect to feel out of touch by the age of 39. So I think I've got, yeah, my birthday's June 9th. I have less than 1 month left to be cool. And if you see on my screen here, this is why I was able to start sighing. I'll drop it over real quick so you can see. That's what it hit me with right there. So as soon as I got to this section, and the inevitable age will hit where the world of cool no longer speaks to us can vary. Census showed you generally expect to feel out of touch by the age of 39. This hurts. I'm not going to lie. This is a pretty devastating story to read. It might score a 0. I might have to rate this a 0 now because of how terrible this is. I feel awful. I feel absolutely awful. Whoops, go back over here. We don't need that guy. I'm sorry I did this to everyone out there. If you're over 39, I'm sorry. If you're about to be 39, I'm sorry. If you're in your mid 30s, enjoy it. You're still young. You're still cool. You still have time to be cool. I don't. This is my swan song of cool. These next 4 weeks, I'm gonna live my coolest life ever. What's the coolest thing I can do? Is bungee jumping still cool? Rollerblading? What about the X Games? Are the X Games still cool? 3D Doritos? Are those cool? Chain wallets? Are those cool? Reebok pumps? Are those still cool? Pogs? What about them? What about them? POGS. I'm sorry. I am not getting I'm not working blue right now. I apologize. So all right. When it comes to feeling in touch, Americans are most confident when it comes to the food world, while 60% felt they were across the latest in music. 6 in 10 Americans feel similarly in the know when it comes to social media, while movies and staying up to date with the latest tech also inspire high confidence. Okay, it seems like most people are like, I relatively know what's going on in food. I can keep up with the music scene. I don't know if I can keep up with movies and tech at all times. Knowing modern slang, that's where it gets lower. So the older you get, you're going to know less and less modern slang. It says celebrities. So yeah, knowledge of celebrities is the most common thing for people to lose track of as they get older. It's tough. So yeah, you can show me some TikTok stars right now. You could show me some people. I'd be like, I don't know. And they're like, Steve, they have 28 million followers. They're 50 billion. They make $80 billion a year. And I'd be like, who is Ninja? I don't know. I know Ryan Plays Toys makes $80 billion on YouTube, where I think maybe 19 people are watching me right now. But Ryan is opening a box of toys and making $80 billion a year right now. I am opening up the New York Post, and I will take a loss, but I do it for the love of it. Not like that piece of crap Ryan. I'm sorry, the kid. The Ryan's parents are the pieces of garbage, making him run out there and open those damn toys so they can pad their bank accounts. Trying to hold your own at the Met, impress your local book club, or wow people with your stylish wardrobe is a distant dream for a third of Americans. With the arts, literature, and fashion completing the top 5 areas that we struggle to keep in touch with. All right. So, yeah, most Americans feel in touch. Yeah, we just hit all that. Sorry, they list them out down here. In touch, out of touch. All right. Tech, fashion, celebs, literature, slang, arts. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. So we've got the lowest shot at slang, pop culture, arts, what's going on in the book world, celeb world. We can hang in there on food, music, social media, and movies. I think we can still hang in there even after 39. So I can stay cool in a couple areas. Some other areas, I don't think I'm ever going to be cool again. So, all right. Well, this was a fun one. Thank y'all for joining me today. This was You, Me, and the New York P. I'll typically do these on Fridays. I don't have a full programming schedule run out or ironed out yet or whatever, but Tuesday, I think this week I did a Tom Selleck thing because Tom Selleck's giant mustache amazes me, and he was in the news because he's about to lose his home because Blue Bloods is going off the air. I don't know how. I still don't understand how he's going to lose his home because of it. He's got $45 bajillion, and I think he hawks reverse mortgages on TV every damn day. Whatever. So yeah, I think I'll probably do like some hot topic Tuesday, whatever like one topic is. I'll try to dive into that and then do some kind of like silly little thing around it. Wednesdays, typically doing the Wednesday watch along there. It's Emilio month. We're gonna hang out and watch a bunch of Emilios for May. We've already hit 2 Mighty Ducks. I am not revisiting or not doing a third Mighty Ducks movie. That movie's pure trash. So I believe the consensus recommendation so far for the next Emilio Estevez movie, funnily enough, is A Night at the Roxbury, which is a powerful Emilio performance. So powerful, I don't even remember seeing him on screen. But the most important thing about the movie A Night at the Roxbury is Emilio. So I think that might be the next one, but stay tuned. We've also got lots of requests for Men at Work, Young Guns, things of that nature. So that'll be the Wednesday watch along. Thursdays, it's all over the place. It was a ultimate pizza topping mock draft of DFW sports teams a couple weeks ago. And then I got my ass kicked in a sports knowledge gap game yesterday live right here. So maybe I'll do a sports game. I don't really know what Thursdays are going to be yet. So anyway, thanks for joining me this time. This was You, Me, and the New York P. Quick before I jump out of here, let me rank them real quick so you can see. Oh, Z to A, my bad. So the story that wins the week. How did Friday become our favorite day? It's Friday right now. So go out, have some fun, go tease out, let it hang. It's Friday. Y'all have a good one. Get out of there. Woo!